Hello everyone and welcome back to the Drivers Room Acelith Design Endurance Championship. This is Season 6, Round 4, Tier 3. I'm your host Kimaru and today we are at Interlagos in the Group 2 machines. So let's see how the Tier 3 boys went on in today's qualifier. Starting off at pole, we have Gary in first. Cusker Swalerb's livery hasn't loaded, so he'll be running the standard livery for some reason. Glover Barnett, Jeep, Mr. Frog, Jason Halder, Revs, Murkoff, Nightmare Racer, Sir Craig, and Ricky J. Alright, let's see how everyone gets on in today's race. Alright, we're about ready to get this show started. Let's see how everyone gets on into turn 1. Gary being the brave soul, driving in the '08 Lexus. And we're off. He has a hell of a start in that '08. Damn. No turbo in the Lexus, of course. Just runs away from the pack as we see Cusker in tow with Glove Barnett. Lerb had a very horrible start as he squeezes Frog a little bit, but waits for him to get back on. Good manner there from Lerb. So we see Mr. Cusker. Cusker won his first debut race at Blue Moon, so let's see if he can have a bit more luck today. As he follows Gary in the older Lexus. Coming up to start lap 2, we have Cusker right behind Gary at the moment. As you see, Glover had an amazing start, is now in third. Lerb back into fourth after he let Frog go. But Frog is right on Lerb's ass. Looking for a way through on the inside. Lerb covers him off as we see Revs up into sixth. With Nightmare Racer now in 7th with Merc right behind him. We have Jason, Jeep, and Ricky and Craig in last. And we have Cusker in front of Gary. Let's take a look at the overtake. I think Cusker's pace is a lot better than the Lexus. Well, it's Lexus versus Lexus. The 16 seems to be a lot stronger than the '08. The '08 sounds a little bit meaner with American muscle engine. That's what it sounds like anyway. As we see Cusker in first. Well, Barnett still trying to stick up with the top 2 boys. Lerb catching him on Barnett. As we see Frog just not able to keep up with the 16 Lexus. We have Revs in the 16 NSX, which is a dangerous car. Not in the fact that it will kill you, but it is a highly effective fast racer, as we see Nightmare Racer going in inside into turn 1, just completely missing the braking point, I think. Was up in 6th, now he has to do all the work all again. But a good race so far for Nightmare. Let's hope it sticks and that he actually finishes a race. Mechanics have tried to fix all of his cars, but they've all suffered mechanical issues, forcing Nightmare to retire in 3 out of 4 races as far. You see Murkoff there, just trying to stick with Nightmare for the moment. We have Jason right on the God of Thunder's slipstream. Jeep right behind Jason again. Get off the grass, Jason. Ricky doing good in 11th so far. And Craig just not up to pace. I'll say this, he's not alone. So we come back with Cusker, who has carved himself out a commanding lead. Well, sort of, for the moment. His pace seems to be better than the rest at the moment. Unforeseen accidents can, of course, happen, but let's hope he can stick through it. You never know in a 1 hour race, anything can happen, as we see Gary just struggling to keep up with that 16 Lexus. Not easy when the 08 Lexus is a little bit slower, but it does sound a lot better. And we see Lerb has gotten himself ahead of Glove Barnett. He's on fire today. Horrible start, but managing to stay with it. Shame that his livery isn't showing. Maybe he forgot to put it on. Maybe the replay I'm using just isn't able to show it as a bug. Barnett is trying to stay ahead of Frog. They're both in the 16 GTR. .787, he must be a fan of the 787B. One of my favorite Mazdas in the world. The LMP or the Endurance Monster Group 1. As we see Frog ahead of Merc. Nightmare's dropped down to A. Has he missed turn 1 again? As we see, Merc is trying to keep up with Revs at the moment. Trying to make a dent in Revs' armor as we see him. Oh! Did Revs get spooked? Or did he just lose grip of his rear end? It just looked like Revs got spooked, and the God of Thunder just passed him by. As we see, Revs is being chased by Nightmare and Jason, or Jeep. Jason's fallen down to 10th, so he's probably had one of those get off the grass Jason moments. A lot of grass here, so could be a lot of get off the grass moments for Mr. Haldir. Ricky now starting to catch up a little bit with Jason. And we have Craig into the wall. Bad luck seems to follow Milner around Interlagos. As we come back with Cusker, he's just flying today. One of the two of the fastest in the driver's room is showing the strengths right now. But Kusker hasn't given up. The German just needs some time to reel in that big, heavy brute of Alexis. He could be dangerous in the long run, for sure. As we see Lerb still trying to gain some ground to the top two. Frogman is ahead of Barnett. Murkoff ahead of Nightmare. Don't think these positions have changed in the time lately. So we come back to Jeep. Oh, just understeering through that. Ricky's ahead of Revs. Revs has been into the pits. That's early. 6 laps. As we see Kusker also into the pits now, with Gary in tow. We come back with Lerb as he has a 2.5 penalty. Still hasn't been into the pits. Side by side. Oh, that was close. Kusker's really on fire today. Gary should be able to catch up to Lerb without much issue. As we see Merc in 4th ahead of Frogman. Frog has been into the pits. Merc has not. A little contact there from Frog. Desperate to get through or ahead of Merc at the moment. Merc's having none of it. Merc is a badass. And he doesn't give things away for free, that's for sure. Frog has lost a little bit of ground down up to Merc at the moment as we go down the field and check the rest of the racers. Nightmare in 7th has been into the pits, same with Jeep. And we have Ricky J there. See Jason, they've both been into the pits. Good to see Ricky fighting with Jason. Fighting with someone. Let's see if Ricky has the stones. Oh, a little late on the brakes there, Rick. a bit down up to Jason at the moment, but we'll come back to the fight later on. As we see, Revs is really struggling with the pace. Very difficult to keep the pace up at Interlagos. I know that very well from my run. And Craig is coming up to the corner where I died multiple times in my race. And oh! Craig almost dies in his run as well. By the looks of it, he has been into the wall a few times. Oh! His car is just all over the place. As we come back to Cusker, still staying just a bit ahead of Gary at the moment. Cusker is definitely trying to break away from Gary, but Gary's having none of it. He's trying to do his absolute best in that probably understeery 08 to keep up and regain his P1. As we follow Frog as he goes down the pit wall. Lurb is out and clear. And ahead of Mr. Frog. We have Nightmare in front of Barnett, and Jeep is being chased down. Come on, Mr. Nightmare. Just give them a friendly little dose of Freddy Krueger nightmares, and you'll leave them in the dust. We have Thor catching up to the guys in front. The battle for 5th. Barnett is in the slip. Not able to make a move into turn 1. Oh, look at how deep he goes through there. That could be a penalty, Barnett. And it is. Gets 1 second penalty for cutting the corner. Should be easy enough to shake the penalty on tracks such as this. And he goes very deep there. Might be another penalty. The penalty system in GT is, as we all know, the most screwed in the universe. He has shaken it down to half second. Nightmare's really feeling the pressure at the moment as he goes very understeery through there. Just digging down deep, trying to find whatever reserves he has of power just to break away from the 3 in the back. Oh, look at how close Barnett is. This might be a move time. Down the straight. Does Barnett have enough overspeed to go on the inside into the following corner? He does, and is up into 5th. Wow, nice move, Barnett. Nice move. but Nightmare's right on his heels. And he's got Jeep and Merc right behind. Very eager to get past Nightmare. And of course to get past Barnet, but it looks like Barnet is breaking away. GR2s must suit Barnet quite a bit, or the combination of this track and cars. As we see, Merc has passed Jeep finally. He's now taking up the chase to Nightmare. We're gonna go down the field for a quickie and just check the grids. We have Jason in 9th, Ricky in 10th, and Revs in 11th. Craig has unfortunately had to retire the car, mechanical issues. And we have Cusker still in first, and starting to carve out a decent lead down to Gary. Lerb hasn't been able to catch up that much. Maybe the GR2 isn't his class. Frogman looking very secure in 4th at the moment. As we head down to Nightmare Racer, Barnet and Jeep, and Barnet has had a mistake. He has dropped down to 7th, as we see Merc up at the 5th, Nightmare in 6th. And no, Barnet doesn't go in for a move there. As we see Gary and Cusker into the pits already. How bad are their tires? Oh, we just missed it. So we head down with Merc, Nightmare, Glover, and Jeep. As we see Frogman into the pits. And Nightmare diving into the pits. Murkoff staying out. Frog also into the pit. Jeep staying out. Barnet staying out. Wow, Jeep's tires are really starting to run off. Interlagos can be quite harsh on the tires, as we see Murkoff going past Frog as he comes out of the pits, putting Merc up into 4th. Great racing from Merc, really on fire this season. Frog with fresh tires should be able to get past Merc shortly, unless he takes a classic spin out of the track. Barnet might be going into the pits in not too long, as we see Nightmare in 7th, Jeep in 8th as he goes off. Oh. What happened to Jeep? Did his stuff disconnect? Oh, we've lost Jeep. Oh, that's a shame. As we check the top 3, nothing's happening there. As we see Merc is trying to defend heavily against Frog. Merc's tires aren't looking that bad either, but he just isn't able to break away. Coming back on lap 23, we have Barnet in 4th, Frog in 5th. Unfortunately, we didn't get to see the battle between Frog and Merc. As we see, Merc is down in 6th, but he has fresh tires now. Should be able to catch up to the boys in front. Nightmare still hanging in there in 7th. Jason, I don't think the Group 2s are his preferred car of choice. Maybe just despises this track. Maybe a combination of both. Ricky J, not giving up, and we've lost Revs and Craig and Jeep, of course. So this track has taken some casualties today, that's for sure. As we see Cusker still in a commanding lead over Gary, as we see Gary all the way down here. Let's go for a little live timing and check out. 20 seconds up to Cusker from Gary. Wow. As we see, Lerb is catching up. The 08 Lexus isn't doing Gary any favors at this point. He's just falling behind. As we see Frogman passing Barnett as Barnett goes into the pits. There we have Merck. I think Barnett's gonna take on a little bit of fuel. And there Barnett is 82%, so he took on a big load of fuel. That should last him to the very end. As we see Jason coming through the start-finish straight. And I think we lost yet another person. Nightmare has had to retire because of technical issues. We have lost 4 people, I believe. Oh. As you see, Ricky in 8th. Regardless, it will be some decent points for him. Jason in 7th. Oh, just struggling to find grip in that monster. And I think he has the brake balance to the front because the front tires are taking a beating. As we see Barnett in 6th. Merck in 5th. Trying to chase down the Frogman. Lerb in the picture, still trying to catch up to Gary, and Gary has himself almost a 5-second penalty. Just been out of the track a little bit too much, I think. Very easy to get penalties on this track. Cusker has been dominating this entire race. What can we say about Cusker? The car, the track, everything just seems to suit him. Oh, as we see Ricky off. Very difficult that last turn. Jason coming out of the pits. Big gap has developed. Merck in 5th. He's been chasing 4th all race, but ultimately is a good distance behind Frog at the moment. Frog's doing good. Frog is showing his strength. Ooh, very, very wide. That could be a penalty. As we see Cusker into the pits. Lerb up into 2nd as Gary is also going into the pits. Gary coming out there. Will he be able to put the fight to Lerb? Coming on back on lap 36, we have Cusker still in the lead. Don't think anyone can be able to do much about that. Lerb in 2nd, looks like he's got himself a comfortable gap down to Gary. Just has to pull away. As we see Gary coming out from his final pit stop. The 08 is definitely not doing Gary any favors at this point. Merck still in 4th. Yes, Frogman is into the pits for his final go. And I think Merck isn't going into the pits anymore. And oh, we have Frog. Okay, the pit thing is a little weird. But Frog isn't that far ahead of Merck, but will Merck be able to catch up? That's the question. As Merck goes very wide there, maybe a pixel too far to the right, and gets himself a 2.5 penalty. Barnett catching up to Merck, but will it be enough? As Jason comes out, just next to Lerb, that overtakes him by a lap. Ricky there. Had more or less a very uneventful race. And probably following my motto, never give up. As I think he's still trying to warm his tires a little bit. And we have Cusker with a new best lap time. Let's take a look. Cusker has had a new best lap time of 1:22.8. And the others aren't even that close. As As we see Lurb into the pits. Will Gary be able to come out ahead of him? I don't think so. It's going to be close. As we see, Lurb is just behind Gary. He might actually get a battle towards the end of the race. 8 minutes remaining. Gary's trying his hardest not to lose second, but I don't think Lurb's gonna have any of that. He wants second place. As we see, what? Gary oversteers and goes off into the grass. No, 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 no. Taking a look back with Mr. Gary. What in the world did he do? Oh, wow. Wow. The car just threw him over to the left side. Wow. I didn't think there was that big of a problem to drive over there, but we got robbed of a battle. Again, I'm blaming GTS. I'm probably sure Gary's cursing his head off from that. Oh, man. As we see, Frog in fourth has stayed out of trouble. Just kept his head down. There. Trying desperately to catch up to Frog, but ultimately isn't able to because of the worn tires. So he'll just have to nurse the car home into a 5th position, but it isn't that bad. I would say 5th is worth it, but I'm pretty sure he would like a podium as well. As we follow Barnett as he's been overtaken by another lap from Cusker. Cusker has been dominating in today's race, and nothing has been able to stop the man in front. Haldir has had a little chaotic race, but kept the car on track. The car is looking pristine, so at least he hasn't been in any walls. And Cusker goes into the pits yet again. That is a little surprising. He might be trying to go for a new fastest lap. Yeah, I think Cusker's trying to go for another fastest lap. And we'll get back to him after we check down with Ricky. Ricky's looking low on fuel, but that should last him until the end at least. Haldir there. Barnett and And I think Barnett should be good until well towards the end. Just has to take care of those tires. Merc still in 5th. Lonely on track. Frogman. Gary probably still kicking himself for that little mistake, and he went too wide. Lerb had a pretty uneventful race as well. As we come back with Cusker as he goes for his flying lap. Let's hope Barnett stays out of his way. Out of the way, Barnett. Not a new fastest lap for Cusker, but he can still do one more lap. As we see Lerb, will he go over for another lap, or will this be his final one? Don't think he will be able to make one more lap. He does make one more lap. Gary will be one of the first to finish. I think possibly... no, Jason will be the first to finish. As we come back to Gary. Good race in a difficult car. As we see Frogman has done well. Murkoff done what he can. Fifth place is a good ending. As we see Barnett about to finish his one. Where is Cusker and Lerb? Cusker is here to finish his race. Very good race from Cusker. Well done. And thank you all for watching, and come back for round 5. Bye bye.